Every year, the Christmas story speaks to me in a way that it hasn't before. This year, I'm focusing on the phrase, because there was no room for them in the inn. As the story goes, Mary and Joseph travel from Nazareth to Bethlehem due to a census. While there, Mary goes into labor, delivers Jesus, and places him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn. Here's what strikes me about this phrase. Bethlehem couldn't make room for the divine. Now granted, they didn't know he was there, but still, there was no room in their inn. We could say that their doors and windows for the mysteries of God were shuttered. And at times, so are ours. How often do we struggle to make room for the mysteries of God in our lives? How often do we relegate God to the insignificant, poorly built structures of our soul where the ineffectual parts of our spirituality await for just a morsel of attention? For too many of us, there's just no room in our soul's inn. Yet the message of Christmas is God comes to us anyway. God comes to the world as light bound up in a body, even if we don't have room for that kind of mystery. God births into our world love and kinship, even if we don't have room for that kind of mystery. God, through Christ, shows us how to live and move and have our being, even if we don't have room for that kind of mystery. The magic of Christmas is, despite our readiness, God comes to us, even if we don't have room for that kind of mystery. And we see this clearly in Matthew 1:23. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and his name shall be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. This is what makes Christmas so magical. Despite our readiness, God comes to us. And over the years, I've always kept my heart open to experiencing this magic. I really love Christmas, but I'll admit, I now view it a little differently. I used to think Christmas Eve and Christmas Day were magical because it led us to a new kind of baby, as if this child, this human Jesus, was somehow and in some way different from other humans, set apart, if you will. But now I know Christmas isn't magical because it leads us to a different kind of human. It's magical because it awakens us to a different kind of God. Look at Matthew 1:23 closer. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and his name will be God with us. Hold tightly to this phrase. Think about it like this. Today, the human Jesus is just a baby. He's crying and learning and laughing like all babies do. There's nothing more special about him than any other baby at this moment. In time, he'll learn his potential, but right now, on this day, what makes all of this so magical is the change we see in God. God used to be otherworld. Think Zeus on Mount Olympus or Thor on Asgard. They're set apart, they're distant. So is God, but not anymore. On this day, the God of the universe comes to us, and it's magical. No longer is God distant or aloof. No longer is God uncaring or remote. No longer is God unfriendly or unknowable. The God of the universe has come to us and is learning with us, engaging with us, dreaming with us, and it all happens whether we're ready for it or not. But we can be ready if we learn to open our hearts and make room for this new God. And I'll tell you how you can do it. You let the hope of love rise up into you, for that is the Christ mystery. And when we learn to see it, it unveils for us a hidden message that can change our lives. It bears the potentiality to change all lives. And this hidden message is this: Christ has come, and his light is for all and in all, And we can follow this light and shine this light when we make room for Him in the inn.